What's up guys, it's Talon here, and in today's video I'm going to be getting you prepared for this weekend's Solo Victory Cup by analyzing an in-game tournament from Chapter 4, Season 2. The winner of the Collegiate Cup this week was Spoodle, and I'm going to be going in depth into his 10-kill first place performance and what allowed him to be so successful in the early game, mid game, and end game. In the early game, Spoodle decides to land at Kenjutsu Crossing. This is incredibly crucial to do since Katana is by far the best movement for this season. Now notice the quality of his drop. He lands perfectly at the top of the building. This gives him 2 quick chests as well as access to a katana, so if he doesn't get the loot he wants, he can disengage, or if he gets a good amount of shield, he can push opponents that are landed below him, and that's exactly what he does. He ends up getting a couple of free eliminations as well as a third kind of getting pushed in from outside of the POI, and he's off to a very good start going into the mid game. Spoodle was successful in the mid game due to one aspect, and that was fight selection. Notice how when Spoodle decides to push a fight, it's on the edge of zone. This minimizes the opportunity for third parties since most players are going to be wanting to be more towards the center. And this also ensures that more than likely he is not going to be having people rotate into him when he decides to start and push fights. And this works out very well. Even though he gets into a drawn out fight, he does not get third partied. He uses a good amount of mats, he ends up winning, and because he's on more of the dead side and away from all these third parties, he's able to mat up and repeat this process. He gets into a fight with a player who is boxed up on the edge of zone. This time he does get third partied, however he does clutch up, and once again, once he finishes up cleaning up these 2 individuals, he just katanas away, goes to zone with very good mats, very good heals, and is very much prepared for the end game. The end game is really where Spoodle shined, and this is obvious based on what he does here going into the first moving zone. He prioritized getting a pick so he has maximum mats and as much loot as possible going into moving zones. He gets that nice pickup, but unfortunately does make a little bit of a mistake not securing the loot, and it gets dropped down, and he ends up losing a very valuable slurp juice, which could have really helped him in endgame. And you'll see how powerful they really are once we get to that portion. Now, he's still set up going well into the moving zones, and he pretty much does the obvious. He waits till zone is at his back, he katanas up 3 times and catches himself. The rotation meta is really not that hard. However, you still have to go and look for picks due to the fact that rotation is not that difficult. There's usually a lot of players up. As you can see, there's still being around 20 plus individuals in this end game. Now notice how when he gets this refresh, how he plays it. This opponent on his lair is basically mindlessly keying another opponent on his lair, and he gets a free elimination. Smartly plays the splashes as well in zone since he just got a full stack refresh on the opponent he just killed. He does that and immediately katanas ahead forward. Now he has just gotten a refresh and he wants to play for height, which is incredibly difficult in this meta due to the fact that so many people are kataning. Look how that ends up going for him initially. But he does a very good job of tracking the opponent, which he cracked, and this is going to win him the game. Unfortunately, he gets broken out. He simply katanas down, but he realizes what opponent he cracked, which actually happens to be Isaac. He places a ramp and then immediately phases in and gets a huge impactful refresh of getting the slurp juice. And you're going to see that heal off is essentially meta in almost all of these new moving zones. To pay attention as well to how he takes height. So once he gets this refresh, he goes ahead and immediately builds up. And when I'm talking immediately builds up, you're gonna see him crank probably 10 to 15 layers above. This ensures that even if he gets katana on, he can easily pressure with his SMG. He can easily make sure to keep his high ground, and if he gets chopped, don't worry, he has aerialist or katana. And then look how he plays this incredibly smart. Instead of staying up wobbly on the high ground, he goes back to the bottom of his build, splashes so he's away from the people that could possibly take things away, and he wins incredibly easily, and that was due mainly to his impact on Isaac and the way he went for refreshes earlier. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on today's video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.